Are you feeling overwhelmed and lost in the midst of a life filled with responsibilities and commitments? If you're seeking more freedom and clarity, this video is for you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any tips on how to simplify your life and achieve a sense of inner peace. Modern life, with its countless demands and stimuli, can easily lead us into a state of confusion and stress. However, the quest to simplify life is not about escaping reality. It's about living more consciously and authentically. Instead of getting swept away by the daily grind, we can reassess our priorities and eliminate the excess of things and commitments that drain our time and energy. Simplifying life doesn't mean living ascetically or giving up on your dreams. Instead, it's about recognizing what is truly important to you and directing your energy toward those areas. It's about living intentionally, enjoying the present moments, and cultivating meaningful relationships. The journey toward a simpler life starts with awareness. You need to observe your habits and routines, identifying what leads to stress and overload. It could be the sheer number of tasks, information consumption, the accumulation of unnecessary items, or even toxic relationships. With this awareness, you can begin to make intentional choices to eliminate excess and create a more balanced and healthy lifestyle. To handle this, it's useful to understand the concept of control, taught by practical philosophy. This philosophy suggests that we should focus our energy only on what is within our control, such as our thoughts, actions, and reactions. On the other hand, things beyond our control, like other people's actions, random events, and life circumstances, shouldn't be a constant source of concern. Practical philosophy teaches us to accept what is beyond our control, to avoid fighting against what we cannot change, and to focus our energy on things we can genuinely influence. This doesn't mean being passive and letting life take us wherever it wants. It means acknowledging that not everything is within our control and accepting things as they are, without resistance. One of the biggest challenges for most people is distinguishing between what is within our control and what isn't. Often, we find ourselves struggling with things that are entirely beyond our reach, like the weather, traffic, others' actions, and life circumstances. This struggle is futile and only causes us suffering. When we realize that we can't control everything, we can start to focus on what truly matters: our thoughts, actions, and reactions. We can choose how to respond to external events, how to interpret situations, and how to behave. By concentrating on what is within our control, we can build a more authentic and meaningful life. Practical philosophy offers a path to inner freedom, mental peace, and happiness. By freeing ourselves from the need to control everything and fighting against the unchangeable, we can live more fully and authentically. We can focus on our values, our goals, and our relationships, connecting with what truly matters. The practice of practical philosophy is not easy. It requires discipline, effort, and perseverance. But the benefits are countless. This approach helps us become more resilient, better adapted to adversity, and wiser in our decisions. It encourages us to live more consciously, more present, and more intentionally, focusing on our values and priorities. In this video, we'll explore how practical philosophy can help us find more freedom and clarity amid the chaos of everyday life. Practical philosophy, an ancient approach emphasizing virtue, reason, and emotional control, offers powerful tools for coping with adversity and achieving serenity. By understanding its principles, we can learn to focus on what is within our control, while accepting what is beyond our influence. Imagine a boat navigating a stormy sea. The turbulent waves represent the challenges and difficulties we face in life. Without a firm anchor, the boat will be tossed by the waves, losing direction and succumbing to the storm. Similarly, without a moral compass, without a set of solid principles to guide us, we can easily lose our way amidst life's turbulence, succumbing to negative emotions and external influence. In this context, practical philosophy serves as both an anchor and a compass. It provides us with the inner strength to face adversity, the serenity to handle chaos, and the clarity to navigate challenges. The key to this transformation lies in understanding and applying its principles. One of the fundamental pillars of this approach is distinguishing between what is within our control and what is beyond our influence. The things we can control include our thoughts, actions, decisions, and how we respond to external events. Meanwhile, things beyond our influence include external events, others' actions, the weather, health, and luck. By acknowledging this distinction, we can direct our energy toward what truly matters, our attitude and our actions. Practical philosophy teaches us not to waste time and energy on things we cannot control, focusing our attention on what is truly within our reach. Imagine, for instance, that you're stuck in a terrible traffic jam. The situation is frustrating, anxiety starts to build, and you feel powerless. Practical philosophy invites you to step back and analyze the situation. Can you control the traffic? No. Can you control your reaction to the traffic? Yes. Therefore, the focus should be on staying calm and using the time productively, like listening to a podcast or reflecting on your day. By applying this philosophy, we avoid unnecessary suffering caused by fixation on things beyond our reach. This allows us to direct our energy toward what truly matters, such as developing our virtues and pursuing a fairer and more virtuous life. One of the most powerful tools of this philosophy for simplifying life is the practice of letting go of the unnecessary. This practice teaches us to detach from things we cannot control, freeing us from the burden of worry and frustration. To understand letting go of the unnecessary, imagine a river. The river's waters represent life events, constantly flowing and bringing joys and challenges. Some events can be directed, like choosing a path to follow, setting a goal, or making a decision. Others, however, escape our control. A sudden storm, the loss of a loved one, an unexpected illness. These events, like the river's waters, simply happen, regardless of our will. Practical philosophy invites us to observe life events with discernment, distinguishing between what is under our control and what is not. We can control our actions, thoughts, and reactions, but we cannot control external events. Learning to accept this reality with serenity and detachment is the key to inner peace and happiness. The practice of letting go of the unnecessary doesn't mean ignoring or denying reality. Rather, it means acknowledging that some events are beyond our control and therefore should not be a source of constant worry. When we free ourselves from the burden of worry, we open up space for inner peace, constructive action, and the development of our virtues. Letting go of the unnecessary helps us focus our energy on what truly matters. Instead of lamenting what we cannot change, we can dedicate our attention to what we can control: our character, our actions, our relationships, and our pursuit of a fair and virtuous life. This practice is not passive, but an exercise in wisdom. It is the art of recognizing that life is a constant flow of events, some within our control and others beyond it. It invites us to let go of material things, unrealistic expectations, and negative thoughts that prevent us from living in the present. By practicing letting go of the unnecessary, we can free ourselves from unnecessary burdens and find more space for inner peace. Imagine, for instance, a person who clings excessively to material possessions, living in constant fear of losing them. Letting go of the unnecessary encourages this person to reassess their relationship with possessions. Instead of becoming attached to objects, they can recognize their value without allowing them to dominate their thoughts and emotions. It promotes a healthier relationship with material things, allowing them to be part of life, but not the center of it. Similarly, unrealistic expectations can be a source of suffering. When we create grand expectations, we risk being disappointed by reality. Letting go of the unnecessary encourages us to have realistic expectations, recognizing that things do not always go as planned. It teaches us to be flexible and adapt our plans to circumstances without being overwhelmed by life's inevitable setbacks. Negative thoughts, on the other hand, can lead us into a cycle of pessimism and self-sabotage. Letting go of the unnecessary invites us to challenge these thoughts, question their validity, and seek a more optimistic perspective. It teaches us to observe our thoughts like passing clouds, without being carried away by them. Instead of drowning in negative thoughts, we can focus on the present, acknowledging the beauty and positivity that the present moment offers. Another important principle of practical philosophy is the pursuit of virtue. Virtues like wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance are qualities that help us live a more ethical and balanced life. By cultivating these virtues, we can strengthen our ability to deal with life's challenges with greater dignity and purpose. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to check out other videos on the channel and subscribe to stay updated with upcoming releases. Also, click on the recommended video on the final screen for more insights on the topic.